I've spent the last 4 months analyzing 500 print-on-demand websites or storefronts. It sounds crazy, but 4 months ago, I had the idea for this crazy video, and every week I put a little time aside to examine various print-on-demand stores. I'm just happy that I can finally bring you my findings, because this took a while. Some of these store audits have been for members of our paid community, the Print on Demand Hub, but the vast majority of them have been for just random stores, good and bad. And I can't share those stores with you as it's not fair for me to ruin these people's metrics and their business with all of this unwanted traffic. But what I will share is 10 things that will 100% positively impact your store. Included in this analysis are print-on-demand stores doing $100,000 a month, all the way up to $1 million a month. How do I know that? Well, I reached out to some of them. It's a pretty epic video, and like I said, one that took me an insanely long time to make. The amount of notes I have is absolutely ridiculous. And if you want to know how I determined how well a store was doing, I did 3 things. 1, I would find out if they had any ads running. 2, I would investigate their social media. And 3, I would check their website traffic. And this gave me quite a clear picture as to how well a store was performing based on visitors. And of course, I couldn't know how many sales a store was getting unless I asked, which I did a few times. I got ignored many times, but sometimes I didn't. So let's begin. But firstly, this is mostly going to be for your own website, the tips that I share in this video. And whether that's a WordPress website or a Shopify website, and mainly because there's only so much manipulation that you can do on a platform like Etsy or Spreadshop or any other platforms that allow you to build a very basic landing page or a very basic storefront. Now, this is in no particular order, and some points are similar to others, but just a little bit different. And I wanted to make sure I covered everything, as there was so much data to go through. Number 1, simplicity. The first important consideration is the simplicity of your store. I'm specifically talking about print on demand here, not general e-commerce stores. Simplicity was key, and I found a lot of poorly performing websites were just overly complicated. Think about the main objective. Is it to sell t-shirts, posters, mugs, or whatever you're selling? Or is it to get views on your blog? What is it? Well, in the case of print on demand, it's to sell the specific product we are trying to sell, not to get viewers on our blog or anything like that. So get rid of anything that doesn't help that goal. Maybe it's a blog, maybe it's an excessively long about me page, maybe it's 50 different category types. None of this is needed. We need someone to land on our website and immediately be able to spot a t-shirt that they like and buy. And I say t-shirts because that's what I sell mostly. Number 2, get the flow right. When I say flow, I'm referring to the user journey. If you have a red add to cart button, make the checkout button red. Make the buy button red. Why? Because the potential buyer will be drawn to these buttons very quickly as it flows nicely from one to the next. As soon as you throw another color in there, sure, they'll see it, but it will break their flow or their trance, whatever you want to call it, and their chances of buying are a little bit less. Now, the best way to make sure you're doing this right is to put yourself in the customer's shoes. Go through the whole shopping experience from landing on the site to eventually buying a product and ensure that at no point does the flow get interrupted or does it break. Number 3, too many colors. I saw this so frequently. A website with an insane number of colors. A logo color, a different menu color, then a header color, and then a background color. There's just so many colors and different button colors. The announcement bar was another color. It goes on and on and on. There's just so many different colors. But there was zero brand awareness here. And you'll be shocked, but the most successful sites that I could find had 4 to 5 colors, and that includes everything. Really, really straightforward. Now, the best way to make sure you do this right is to create a simple brand kit. And then you can pick out your colors and make sure that there's always, one contrasting color in the bunch. And that way you can use it for announcements or buttons, and it makes it pop out of the page just a little bit more. Number 4, forgotten about mobile. Designing for mobile first. Always. Especially if you're running ads on Facebook. With us, 95% of our site visits are mobile. And this is very, very common. People are shopping more than ever on their mobile phones. They are doom scrolling on Facebook or Instagram on their phones. And that's where you pop up. That's where your t-shirt, that's where your ad pops up. The huge amount of websites that just forgot about mobile was embarrassing. It should be the default when you are designing your website. Then you have a look at what the desktop looks like and you make a few tweaks for desktop only. But your main goal, your main designing should be for mobile. Now, the biggest thing that I see go wrong with mobile are the banners and the image sizes. Just make sure that you think about them when making your store. Number 5 is loading speed. You don't need me to tell you a fast loading website is vital. This is an obvious one, but because so many of the sites I audited were busy, full of big pictures, and quite frankly, a mess, that also resulted in them loading incredibly slowly. A slow website is a death sentence for any business. Companies spend an insane amount of money just trying to shave milliseconds off their load times. Print-on-demand stores are no different. When someone comes to your store, you have their attention for maybe a few seconds. And to keep their attention, you need to show them enticing designs that they might want to buy. But if those first few seconds are a blank screen waiting to load, you can be sure they'll be gone faster than a politician changes his mind. Number 6, make sure links work. This again is an obvious one, but please test your website. Test. Make sure all the links work. Make sure any clickable images are actually clickable. Don't make this incredibly rookie mistake on your website. Number 7, craft a well-written About Me page. With the birth of AI, we can become lazy here, and that's fine. And I saw over 100 AI written About Me pages, but not just AI written. They didn't go through any human checks. They looked awful. If you're going to use AI, that's totally fine. We've used ChatGPT for our About page, but read it through, tweak it, give it the human touch, and above all else, don't go overboard. A simple 4 short paragraphs about your company is all you need on your About Me page. Number 8, try and get reviews if you can. If you're going to get reviews, it's all or nothing. Don't get 3 reviews and leave it at that. I found it looked better to have no reviews than to have 3 measly reviews. If you're going to try and get reviews, aim for a good amount that actually adds value to your store. You want to legitimize your store and help with the conversion rate. If you have 1 sad, lonely review, even if it's a 5-star, it's going to look like you added it yourself. The same goes for 2 or 3 reviews. You want to try and have a healthy number of reviews that actually legitimizes your store. Number 9, thumbnails. This is an easy one to get wrong. I made a video dedicated to mockups, which I'll link at the end of this video. Watch it. Trust me, it will massively help you. And when thinking about a website, you've got to think what takes up the most amount of space. What really draws people's attention? Is it the banner? Is it the menu? No. Sure, the banner is important. The logo is cool. But the site is mainly taken up by products. And we present those products with our mockups. With traditional e-commerce stores, it's very, very different. Many would prioritize models or a specific brand artistic look. We're not trying to do that. We're just doing print on demand. We're just trying to get a t-shirt sale at the end of the day. Well, throughout the day. You know what I mean. This doesn't have to be rocket science. The best stores had 1 template that was used for all designs. And the reason I think this works so well was because what would happen is the mock-up would sort of disappear into the background because they were all the same. And instead, the individual unique designs would pop amazingly off the page. Literally, they would jump off the screen at you. It's a weird experience, to say the least, and it's hard to describe, but you kind of fall into this trance when you're scrolling through so many websites and so many product catalogs. When every mockup is different, you're constantly bouncing from one to the other, when instead you want the potential buyer's main focus to be on the designs on the t-shirt, because that's what's going to get you the sale. The accessories in your mockup aren't going to get you the sale. So by having the same mockup but different designs, the thing that ends up drawing your eyes in is the design, and you can quickly bounce from one design to another design and take it all in because you have no other distractions on the page. The mockup is all the same, so once you see it once, it no longer becomes a distraction. If you have tons of different mockups, well, you have tons of different distractions. The same principle goes for products. There's a reason why starting out with a single product like t-shirts is the best way forward. I'm trying to minimize distractions. I'm trying to keep the viewer's eyes on the various designs so that they can quickly analyze them all and decide which ones they want to buy. Number 10 is payment options. And of course, I know this is different for everyone depending on what country you're in or if you have a business or you don't, but offering various ways to pay makes a huge difference. Especially quick mobile options. As we now know, 95% of viewers will most likely browse on a mobile, and adding Apple Pay or Google Pay, which allows people to buy with a simple double tap, can massively increase your sales. Other options to consider are PayPal and Stripe, which accept pretty much all major credit cards. And debit cards for that matter. With all of this information, I actually created a demo store that takes into account everything I've mentioned, and it's actually modeled off $1 million print-on-demand stores. That demo store is available in the print-on-demand hub, and you can check out every detail of it: the product designs, the mock-ups, the flows, the colors, everything I have mentioned in this video. I think it's super helpful, and you can quickly and easily compare and contrast your store with this demo store and figure out maybe why you're not getting as many sales as you hoped. I hope you found this video helpful. I think it was totally worth the time and the effort it took to make it. And honestly, I love doing these kind of detailed breakdowns based on so much research. If there are other videos like this that you think would be useful, then let me know in the comments down below. Oh, and the link to the Print on Demand Hub is down below if you want to check that out as well. Thank you very much for watching, and of course, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.